Wasp Wilson in the blue. Wilson coming out in the southpaw stance. Orthodox of Mullholland. Oh, it's a huge shot from Wilson early. Mullholland gets dropped and Wilson looking to finish here. He's going to have to be careful. He's left the legging down.
Yeah, he's thrown that leg over. It's a good tactic to try and slow down the opponent. He's stopped taking damage. He's looking to switch this. He's in a little bit of a position for a knee separator there, but still needs to be very, very careful because Wilson very happy to try and punch his way out of this position. For a second there, Mullholland looked like he was looking to try and come around and use that leg entanglement to take the back. This is a bit of an awkward position because Wilson wants to create some space here. He finally manages to do so.
Goes for the knee to the body, but he's going to give up a takedown off that. Yeah, both men setting their stalls out early here, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is kind of Mullholland. This is exactly what he wants to be doing at this point. After getting dropped there, he wants to be slowing this down and forcing his opponent to play at his pace.
Incredible 21-fight amateur ledger from Ciaran Mullholland. Some mixed results, though, and you know, he's 0-2 as a professional, but he's gone in there against incredibly tough guys, and he's had some wars. Conor Wilson, too, with a 5-3 amateur record and a 1-0 as a pro. Got that win by triangle, though, so perhaps not going to be too much of a fish out of water on the ground. And, of course, training out of Next Generation, are well known for their grappling prowess.
Yeah, and you could tell that in that first exchange. You know, he looked very comfortable there, and he was doing everything right.
You've got to believe, though, he wants to get some separation and see if he can land that sweet right hand again. I'd like to take the opportunity to say good morning to our American friends watching on UFC Fight Pass, a particularly early one for you guys, so thanks for tuning in, and obviously some great afternoon fights for our European fans here as well. Mullholland crushing his man up against the cage here. We talked about this a few times across the trilogy, Dan, when we've got these guys coming in now, and you look at the pro record 0-2, and you think, well, this guy's a novice, but then 20-plus fights in the amateur divisions, absolutely the opposite of a novice. There's the takedown from Conor Wilson.
Yeah, very, very nice there, controlling that clinch position and eventually getting the takedown straight in the side control now. Mullholland needs to be careful what he's doing with that far side arm. There's a very common submission that we see from here is that far side head and arm choke. Mullholland using that fence to try and invert to get back to another position, but finds himself now on the receiving end of some brutal shots.
Yeah, Ciaran Mullholland is tough to get out there with strikes, so Wilson going to have his work cut out for him, but he looks more than ready to stand and trade with Mullholland here. Mullholland back down at flyweight after a stint at 135. Does look more comfortable at the weight in my estimation, and he carries a nice bit of height with him. Oh, another combination from Wilson there. The Wasp looking to sting Mullholland early on. Had to get that one in, didn't I?
At least once.
Oh, great work on the fakes there from Wilson to find his way in. Coach Paul Rimmer and Ellis Hansen in the corner, barking instructions to their man. It's a big fight for the Fight Academy Island team last night, of course. Joe McColgan picking up the belt. You've got to believe that spirits are high in the warm-up room this morning for Ciaran Mullholland as he looks to get back into this one.
Yeah, really interesting defensive grappling from Wilson. You see him using that right leg, that knee shield position, trying to keep his opponent quite far away from him. He's not utilizing it as much now as he did in that first clinch, but it did stop when Mullholland went to go for that big pickup. It did stop him being able to get his hips in close enough to actually really generate any leverage there.
Mullholland just burying the head into that little pocket between the shoulder and head of Conor Wilson.
Yeah, here we're seeing it again. You can see with that left leg there, Wilson's got that leg, and it's acting in the same way that a knee shield would work in a position like half guard, it's working standing just to keep your opponent at bay, being able to control that distance there. A nice switch, and we saw this earlier. This is exactly what he did when he took him down early in the round. He uses the momentum off of that clinch position, and then he goes for that body lock takedown off of it. Very nice.
Yeah, a good solid first round there from Conor Wilson. And Dan, we were talking about this just before we came on air. We believe now that Next Generation has had the most titles of any gym in Cage Warriors history, and I'm sure Ian Dean will correct me if I'm wrong as we just take a look at some of Conor Wilson's handiwork here. But what I mean by that is the momentum in that gym at the moment is huge, and yeah, we do see that have an effect on especially the young up-and-coming guys.
Yeah, here we see, I believe, the first, and basically carbon copies both these takedowns. He's using that body lock position. He's getting the momentum going by rotating and then changing the positioning and going for the takedown. Very interesting to see if he's going to utilize that again throughout this fight.
Certainly bringing a rounded game into this one is Conor Wilson, as does Mullholland. Wilson actually made his Cage Warriors debut back at Cage Warriors 78. That was in the amateur ranks, and interestingly enough, in the amateur ranks, these guys actually met once before. Wilson does hold a victory over Ciaran Mullholland by unanimous decision back at Cage Warriors 107.
Really, really nice level change into a takedown here. Mullholland did look to go for a guillotine. Very, very hard to finish a guillotine from under half guard, even if you get those hands connected, even if you have the forearm underneath the neck. But if you can get back to a closed guard position, that changes everything. Of course, we already saw a guillotine finish from his teammate last night, so this is a strong position, and look at the reactions. I think that this could be a tap.
Oh, it's over! Conor Wilson submitted in the second round.
Wow.
Ciaran Mullholland, the dark horse indeed, cannot be counted out.
Yeah, very, very nicely done. As I was saying, as Wilson shot that takedown, Mullholland did catch that neck. He ended up underneath half guard, and it's just very difficult for you to get the correct positioning to raise that wrist up through the line of the neck and to get the finish. But once he gets a closed guard with that arm out guillotine, very, very powerful. And you can see Wilson had nowhere to go there. So here's that takedown again. It's a really nice level change. As soon as he does, he's on the neck straight away. And and you can see Wilson pass into half guard. That's exactly what he needed to do. Now, what he didn't do is he didn't make sure that he was staying in half guard. He's safe in this position. But what Mullholland does a fantastic job of is now being able to get that left leg out and go back into a full guard position. Here it is. You see how he brings that left leg out. Now this is a very different story. An arm out guillotine, all of that pressure going through the neck, and that was it. There was nowhere for Wilson to go.
Mullholland, the big underdog coming into this one with the bookmakers. He's probably won some of his friends and fans a lot of money there. The dark horse victorious, and Hal Chaplin will make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mr. Mark Goddard, calls a stop to this contest after just 44 seconds of round number 2, declaring your winner by way of guillotine choke in the red corner, Ciaran, the Dark Horse, Mullholland.
Never count out the dark